Synergy Manufacturing Front Track Bar Relocation Bracket. Applies to 2018 and up Jeep JL Wrangler, 20 and up Jeep JT Gladiator. Tools required: 18mm, 21mm, 22mm sockets and wrenches, 3/4 inch sockets and wrenches, a pry bar, and a torque wrench. Estimated installation time is 1.5 hours. Installation can be done on the ground or in the air on a lift. Pulling the wheels and tires off will allow more room to work, but isn't required for installation. Disconnect the sway bar links from the axle mounts on each side of the axle, and rotate the sway bar up and out of the way. Remove the steering stabilizer from the OEM track bar mount. Remove the front axle track bar bolt and pull the track bar up out of the bracket. Support the passenger side of the track bar by tying up the end so it does not fall down in your way while working on the axle. Remove the sway bar end link pin from the OEM track bar bracket. To make installation easier, we recommend removing the tie rod and drag link. Place the Synergy front track bar bracket over the factory track bar mount on the front axle of the Jeep. The Synergy bracket should overlap the front of the factory mount and fit in between the sway bar mounting tabs. The 805504-PL long spacer inside the Synergy bracket and factory track bar mount where the factory track bar bolt goes. Install the M14 by 80mm long bolt with a washer in the lower hole of the Synergy bracket through the factory track bar bolt holes. The bolt should pass through the Synergy bracket, factory mount, spacer, Synergy mount, and exit through the back of the factory mount. Use another washer and M14 by 2 top lock nut to keep the bolt from falling out. At this time, do not tighten it. Install the 1/2 by 3 inch long bolt and washer through the sway bar mounting holes in the side of the bracket. Use the included nut tab on the side of the bracket and hand tighten. Drop the track bar down into the Synergy bracket and use the M14 by 7mm bolt. Use the remaining 14mm washers and the M14 top lock nut to hold the track bar in place. You may have to lower the axle relative to the chassis or adjust the length of the track bar if you have an adjustable track bar in order to get the bolt into the track bar to line up properly. Torque both M14 bolts to 125 foot-pounds and torque the 1/2 inch bolt to 80 foot-pounds. Now go ahead and reinstall your tie rod. You can also go ahead and reinstall your steering stabilizer to the new Synergy track bar relocation bracket. Before reinstalling your drag link, you're going to want to drill out your passenger side knuckle. Drill out the knuckle to 7/8. Install the flip adapter and install the drag link on the upper side of the knuckle. Install the 885502-01-PC Synergy sway bar relocation bracket on the driver's side of the front axle. Installation is best done with the driver's side spring removed, but may be done with it in place. These instructions assume the bracket is being used with Synergy springs. If using with stock lower spring isolator, the isolator must be trimmed as shown. The Synergy sway bar relocation bracket has a radius to accommodate the axle tube. Insert the relocation bracket between stock axle side sway bar link bracket and the coil spring mount on the driver's side. It may be necessary to tap the bracket into place using a soft face hammer. Align the inner Synergy sway bar link relocation bracket hole with the hole in the lower spring perch. Loosely install an M12 bolt through the spring perch and the Synergy sway bar link relocation bracket. Use a washer under the head of the bolt and under the nut. Install the hardware with the bolt head facing in towards the center of the vehicle. Once the forward hole is aligned, loosely install an M12 bolt through the stock sway bar mount and the Synergy sway bar link relocation bracket. Use a washer under the head of the bolt and under the nut. Install the M12 bolt with the bolt head facing out towards the wheel. With all 4 pieces of hardware installed, torque the M12 bolts and nuts to 70 foot-pounds. Reinstall sway bar end link with factory hardware in the upper hole in the Synergy sway bar relocation bracket. The bushing end of the link attaches to the axle on the inside of the tab, towards the center of the vehicle. If using the factory nut and bolt, torque the nut and bolt to 59 foot-pounds. If using the Synergy 8859-01 disconnect pin, torque the pin nut to 80 foot-pounds of torque. Install the passenger side sway bar end link onto the upper hole in the side of the Synergy front track bar bracket. If using the factory nut and bolt, torque the nut and bolt to 59 foot-pounds of torque. If using the Synergy disconnect pin, torque the pin to 80 foot-pounds of torque. This completes your installation. For more information, go to www.synergymfg.com.